Hello, world. Welcome to the Journey Chat today, and we have a wonderful and a special guest from different professions, and also the guest from different part of Bangladesh. So we have a guest, Dilshad Hossain Dodul, an assistant professor, journalism and media studies at Stamford University, Bangladesh, and we have an amazing guest, Shafiqul Alam, who has been serving Agency of France Press 15 years and 4 months. So please welcome our guest tonight. So, hello, Shafiq Bhai, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Hello, Dilshad Hussain Dudul ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. So, Shafiqul Alam bhai, if I ask you like, the topic is about the modern journalism and the aspects of the modern journalism. So, if I ask you, you have been working for a long time with the international media. Modern journalism, what does it mean to you?
Modern journalism is all about. Uh, it's all about technology, but the basic thing is remains same. You have to source a story properly. You have to tell it as smartly as possible, and you have to make sure that this story resonates with the people. Like the people would know, okay, I need this information. But thing is that technology is evolving, so previously it's like a word service, like a very uh, small town news dailies. Now we can see major, like it's like you are doing a journalism right now. This kind of journalism even was not possible like 5 to 10 or 15 years ago. Like it's all about technology. But if you see the main structure, the foundation, it remains same.
Yeah, I think this is a kind of like a different kind of framework, and people are talking about. So, Dilshat Hussain Dudul ma'am, if I ask you like, what is mean to you too? Because you are right now teaching in a university, and where like you're kind of a young teacher, so you have a different kind of experience, and you was in a different country. So, what is mean to you?
Okay, as Shafiq Bhai said, that of course, that like journalism, we often use a term called technological determinism in journalism. Like technology actually determines how the journalism will, like
What
take
happened?
place and how, yeah, and what will happen, how we will produce the news. So I just have finished masters in digital communications in leadership, yeah, under Erasmus scholarship. And what I want to add with Shafiq Bhai, that yeah, it's technology, and yeah, there is a big portion is like that, yeah, the journalism is remains same, but the pattern are actually changing. Like the patterns we produces news, the pattern of gathering information, and the pattern of making a news and preparing a news, those are actually changing. But as Shafiq Bhai said, the main theme about journalism, main theme about reporting actually remain the same. Just the technology is designed like in a new way. I also believe so.
Yeah, I think this is a kind of same beliefs also I'm believing, because you know that I have been working and also try to keep pace with the digital media for a long time. So Shafiq bhai, when I asked to the people before the show, so most of the people, even most of the journalism students, they have a questions, and they requested me to ask you. So this question is, what interesting things, how do you interested, and what motivations you have to do the journalism?
I think the basic motivation was to tell a story. Like
Okay.
we all like to tell history. It's a very ancient thing. People like it. During Homer's time, he used to the blind guy used to uh, sorry, sit in the bazaar of Greece in a like, and then he would tell a story, tell a big story, make it as big as possible. And same is happening here. We just want to tell a story. My basic motivation came from telling a story. I want to tell a story. I want to know more. I want to let my people, let my readers know what I am going to tell them. Like this is the main drive that brings people to journalism. And obviously this there was a glamour is there. Some people like to see his name or her name on the print media, or see his face on the television. That's these things are there, but basic thing is, okay, I love to tell a story, and I need some readers to or viewers to see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think, and this is
Okay.
this kind of the
If I
mobility.
may
Yeah,
ask
please,
a question, actually.
please.
Yeah. So Shofik Bhai, what do you think? Like as you said that telling a story, like we actually want to learn from you. I think someone is calling.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
please.
I mean, does the distribution channel, like new distribution channel, like internet, social media, are affecting your storytelling now? How it is actually affecting your storytelling?
I think like if you see like some of the media has changed the immediacy of things. Like if I am on TV, I know what stories my viewers want to see, or if I am on internet, I know. Like, but essentially the core thing is to tell a story. You have to tell a story, and it has to be interesting enough. And if you choose a, like, there are people who like love to write in a long form, like 20,000 words, and they would write in a way that they can command respect of the, like they would, the readers would won't let it go until the last word is read. This is then some of the, like even the documentary makers, they are also telling stories. And now what happened, because of the plethora of technology, we got like so many medium to tell a story. Like some people love to tell a story through Facebook. Some people love to do citizen journalism. Some people love to tell stories through big documentaries. They don't think that, okay, I don't need one, 2 words or three. And I got used to reading stories in the New Yorker magazine, or in the Atlantic, or in some of the big it's a long form, like 20,000 words, 13,000 words, and still I thought like it's a worth the time.
Uh, Hello, audience. We are still trying to connect. I mean, maybe Shafiq Bhai is here again.
I
Hello.
really
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is a broader angle of the new media and also the journalism. So he was talking about the telling the story. So if I ask you, ma'am, like when a people individually are telling the story, what's the basic difference? Even most of the time, what you read theoretically about the journalism, okay, this is a part of the journalism, this is a theory. When people try to implement in the field, but most of the people are talking about there's a lot of difference. What basic difference, because you are a teacher, so what basic difference you can share with the peoples and to the audience, and in between the theory and the practical aspects?
Okay, so the thing is, actually, there were difference. There were difference when we actually have studied in journalism back 10 years back, because in that time, as Bhaiya said, in that time, like we used to read books, scholarly books from US, from European scholars, right?
Hmm.
And they have like different type of theories, like like about producing stories, like we have been reading like inverted pyramid, and like pyramid structure, inverted pyramid structure, how to write an introduction. Like I have taught you, maybe you have to be have an introduction with 25 words or something like that.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
in modern time, the whole things are changing actually. Now, when I am teaching to my students, I don't follow those instructions actually. I go through the manual. I go through the like manual of BBC. I go through the manual of CNN. Or just today, I was creating a lecture for how to cover a pandemic, and I was following WHO rules. But WHO said actually instructed us to instructed journalists that how you should follow the COVID-19 virus. So actually now I don't think that much difference between journalism theories and practical. But yeah, there is some basic information, like basic thing we have to teach to so that we can understand the basic journalism, like accuracy, what I mean, like accuracy, accountability, something like that. But the process we teach actually to our students, because we have competition, because our students actually face competition in the market. So we have to teach them what they can implement. So there is no, I mean, there is a little bit theories in journalism now.
Yeah.
We actually teach practical oriented information.
Yeah, and Shafiq bhai, we know that you are very good storytellers, and most of the time I've been following your post for a long time. When ma'am brings one of the idea about the accuracy, transparency, objectivity, when people try to do the during the time of the crisis reporting, when people try to cover something in their best way, what is the basic difficulties? What kind of problem people journalists used to face? And I mean, what is the struggle part of your story? When you are also when you try to do the try to cover the story, what is the struggle part of that?
I think like a basic struggle remains the same. This struggle is to try to be as Dilshad has said, it has to be accurate. And if you want to make it accurate, you have to source it from the right person, right guy. Like if you want to give people about the extent of pandemic here and how many people have died, and there are a lot of rumors in the Facebook, lot of things that to draw people's attention. So if you want to tell them that what the accurate picture is, you have to source it from the right person. And if you do that, then everything becomes easier. And all you need, extra things you need, is to add some colors, add some flashes onto the story. But once I think accuracy is the most important thing.
I
As
mean,
soon as
if I
you
added the
have
one
all
of
the
the
accuracy.
questions, if you allow me, please, the one of the question is even during the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, when people are not allowed to go, even not allowed to get the information from the right source, even we know that the information provider most of the time they try to hide and seek, even in it's happening around the world. So in this context, how journalists ensure accuracy, ensure transparency, and ensure objectivity? And how, I mean, what about your perception on that?
That's a big question, because if you start distrusting the people,
Yes, please. Hello.
getting enough good information from them, or accurate information from them, then it becomes the task becomes difficult. But there are always a way to tell this. You just keep present what the government has said, what the authorities have said. Then you also then quote anecdotal evidences, quote some other experts, quote some civil society things, quote some rights groups, what they are saying. So you can, then what you do is that you just bring all the menu on the table and let people decide. Okay, this is the thing that the government is saying this, Transparency International is saying it, some anecdotal evidence coming out of the Dhaka Medical College is saying it. So in that case, tasks become, because if there is this trust deficit, if there is this trust deficit with the authorities. Otherwise, but for all news, you have to, no matter how distrustful the authorities information, you have to source it from them, and they have to be high up in your story.
Yeah, I think this is a format right now people are following. So if I ask to the Dilshad Hussain ma'am, like right now we know that even the different country, my previous show, there was a different journalist from the different country. They are talking about how journalists are facing difficulties to covering the COVID-19 pandemic. So in this context, we know about Italy, and Italy has been done a lot of mistakes. So even they're talking about that there's a debates on journalism, there's a debate on photographs. So if I ask you, like, what debates, what kind of legacy and what kind of problem you observe and during the time of COVID-19 pandemic, during the time of covering the crisis?
Okay. So first of all, there is a challenge of accuracy. Someone from WHO who said that sometimes you really don't know what you don't know. Dealing with a new and emerging infection is very humbling experience. We should not pretend to know what will happen. Will it be severe or mild? Which age groups will be most affected? We just don't know. Say like Dr. Margaret Chan. He is a Director General for Pandemic Influence in Italy. So the thing is, what Italy did actually say that at first, when any epidemic or pandemic actually spread, it takes 3 months to spread. So and most of the journalists actually don't have enough clue about it, right? So Italy did the same problem. Italy journalists from Italy actually faced the same challenge like the Bangladeshi journalists are now facing, because most of them are actually don't know that what is it, how it's actually spreading. Like just to, like as you said about Italy, I was one of my friend from Italy, who reporter, and he was writing in his Twitter about how they're actually. I was asking that how you guys are making news today. So he actually emphasized on technical thing, Shafiqul Alam bhai, that okay fine, they're always saying that okay, we are using like microphone, we are using selfie sticks to take interviews or to take videos, and we are using a camera, a mirrorless camera. And he was saying all about like how they are using technologies to get interview, and how they are using technologies to like shoot the overall thing. Then I asked him that okay fine, but what about the emotion? I mean, there too much emotional story as well with information. So what about that? I mean, technology can't solve. I mean, technology will solve all the problem of reporting. But what about like the other stories, like other emotional or feature stories? And he was saying that the big challenge, even for them, that they are not getting proper information from their government and from their from the officials. They're like us, they're just following like BBC and CNN for the what should I say, like the chart. So yeah, I mean, the challenges are there as like us, because everywhere the transparency of information is not actually clear, even not in Italy, I think. But yeah, journalists over there are more technology friendly than us, so they can produce like new type of news, like the production type of news are very different and very smart over them than us, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Shafiqul Alam bhai, we know that like you have a huge responsibility because you are the bureau chief of agency of French press, and we know the in USA right now there's a lot of journalists who lost their job, and the lot of things are gonna change in the world media. And also in the meantime, we know that in Bangladesh, one of the print media, they're on the way to shut down their doors. So in these circumstances, do you think after the COVID-19, the framework of the media will gonna change, and what role journalists can play in this context?
I think what happened over the last few weeks is not any crisis of journalism. It's a crisis of monetary model, like monetization model of journalism. Like advertisement has collapsed, the media revenue has collapsed. So as a result, some small town newspaper all have busted, and as a result, they furloughed their people or laid off their people. But the thing is, if you see the number of stories you available on the social media or even in newspaper, this has drastically increased. So there is, I don't see any crisis of journalism. And also, like if the number, if you monitor the readership, I was following Neiman Lab and also CJR, and everyone is saying that the number of traffic to the media, like newspaper and some of the website, you have like increased
Huge.
unbelievably.
Yeah.
But thing is how you are going to monetize it, how you are going to make money out of it. If you can make enough money, then obviously you can hire more people, you can expand your network, everything you can do. But right now, this monetary model has, I think, is not working. So unless we see some major changes or major what I said, very good monetization efforts by some of the big houses, we have to wait. But
Yeah.
journalism would remain there.
Yeah. And we know that around the world, all journalists all the time face the problem. So you have been covering like different crisis and conflict for a long time. You joined in 2005 in Agency of France Press, and there is a problem in Bangladesh. Like there's a lot of crisis happen, and especially the Rohingya crisis and also the different border crisis. So when you are writing your story, when you are making the headline, what things all the time you keep in your mind, because you have a pressure of the internal actors, you have a pressure of the external actors, and you have also pressure of your editor from the headquarter. So what things all the time you keep in mind when you write the headline, and what
I think
bigger challenge you faced?
actually the basic challenge is to put the story out. Like I have to write a story and it has to be interesting enough for the international audience, because there are local media, they do all the news, we don't do all the news. We need to select and pick news that draws interest of the international audience. That's why, like, we don't do, like, today we only do have done one story. We quoted the foreign minister about the Rohingya ports, there is like
Yeah.
a alleged list and it in sea. But
Yeah.
others people, I don't know, but we always try to see that whether this news fits for the international the readership.
Yeah, and sometimes the people are talking about like the headquarters and the people, those who are your
Source
boss,
it
and
properly. If you source it
yeah,
properly, if you source it properly and get some direct quotes, I think you never face any pressure. Like I have been working at AFP for 15 years, and believe me, I never ever faced any challenge. Faced any pressure from any authorities. Some people talk about the like a security people, some people are influential people, but I have never. I just did my story, and I thought this is a good story to tell. I just tell it my way.
yeah. I mean,
And
if
if you like, sorry,
yeah,
please.
please, you can go ahead.
And if you
Hello. So audience, we are basically
and regulations of
yeah,
journalism, so everything is a problem. You can do as many.
yeah,
But one major thing is that after the like emergence of social media, that we finally know what story people want to read.
mm,
Previously, we are seeing stories blindfolded way. We
hello, hello, Shohik bhai.
used
I
to
think
see
there's a
more so
yeah,
many stories, but
yeah,
these days we see that some of the people are more worried about like some stories about a dog or some social media is determine which stories need to be told.
yeah,
That's a challenge we can see. So I'm now 50-year-old, so I have to like rethink about what story I should do today or tomorrow. Like tomorrow, one of the biggest story I will be chasing is they are shutting down all the uh, iftar market. And
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
major iftar market is the Chowk Bazaar iftar market, and this is, people say it's a 300-year-old. So I need to
yeah,
tell it like because of the COVID, and for the first time in 300 years, this Chowk Bazaar iftar market is shutting down. This
yeah.
kind of, and people want to read this kind of stuff because, and that's
Mm.
all happening.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time, like, so if I ask you, Dilshad Hussain ma'am, like, when I was observing, I was studying about the different kind of report of different media. So even in international phase, even their entertainment beat, entertainment clause, even I saw the report only the COVID-19 pandemics and only the COVID-19 and only about the victims, only about the survivors. So, I mean, in the meantime, so people are talking about, even, do you think people need the different story even to like to healing out, even to cope with their mental health? And how do you think so? Why? Because there's a lot of times happen. Even we know the diarrhea. Even during the time of malaria, even there's a lot of things is going on. So in the meantime, people are talking about, because COVID-19 is first time affected in the development country, because is hit in the development country, and that's why this is a headline of the international media. How do you think so?
Yeah, actually, no. I was observing like CNN, BBC every day. So no, they have different type of entertaining news actually. Like if you see like CNN, they are actually interviewing many people from the entertainment industry. As you asked Shofikul Bhai that what will be changed after COVID-19, and he said that we have to the monetizing system will be changed. The television and everyone will use the mozo like mobile journalism hugely, like working
Yeah,
solo. Like even
yeah,
television, they will practice working solo. The reporter will practice working solo. So like this, like if you see like CNN made a report on Italy, people who are singing Bella Ciao in their balcony, and it was a huge news. And even like people are protesting, but yeah, everything is related to COVID-19. But in CNN I have seen that like people are interviewing the writers, that what they are writing, or the filmmakers, what is their plan of making a film after COVID-19 had passed, and what will happen to the travel industry. This is not only COVID-19, like the industrial news and especially news related to economics, news related to travel industry, news related to like what should I say, like everything. They have started now to make news about other issues too. But the problem is like how you are going to how you are going to film it, how you are going to shoot it. And that's actually people are self shooting, people are going to shoot by themselves, and they are producing it to their channel, and then channel are editing it and producing it. So I think everything is about COVID-19 now in international media and in Bangladeshi media. But things are now have started changing. They're making other type of news too. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think even people most of the time right now try to find a way to like, because everyone are in the lockdown. Even we all the time try to say like during the time of lockdown, conversation, recreation, love, kindness. This is not lockdown. So there is a comment. One of the Rohingya young leader, he just comment here, King Mong, to the Shafiqul Bhai, what is most important things in journalism? And if I also if I added the one of the question is like, what is the surprising part? And if you share with us like one of the story when you are covering the crisis, I think the audience will be happy.
I think the most important part is to tell a story as honestly, as accurately as possible.
Okay.
Just all the leave out all the politics out of it, everything out. If it is a story, just tell it with all the proper sources, with all the accurate information. That's the most important part. And surprise, like in a to cover a crisis, like it's like it's sometimes it becomes easier to cover a crisis because you are dealing with flood of information. The information are everywhere. It's difficult part is to select the things that you need to tell, like what Dilshad was saying, like people in their balconies cheering the doctors of Chhattisgarh, reciting any like singing any song, famous songs. That becomes because it shows how resilient the people are, how they are taking it. This kind of story, like obviously, but you essentially are telling the story of COVID-19, but in a way that makes people happy to read. Okay, let's read it. It's a different story.
Yeah, I think this is I mean, this is a kind of new things, like when people are, even people are try to right now, people are individually try to, even reader mind is already changed, and most of the time people try to check in the Facebook, and when they're like they're reading a news article in the in the newspaper, and in the meantime they try to check in the Facebook, yes, this is a viral or not, or sometimes the viral news is in the newspaper. So Dilshad Hussain, if I ask you like, when you're talking about the self-censorship, rumors, and also the other part of the journalism, even during the time of digital media, even we know the when the COVID-19, when the COVID-19, the information of the COVID-19, we first heard from the different international media. Even this is kind of unknown for us. So from that time, there's a different kind of rumor happens. So in this Bangladesh context, how media can play the role, and what's the role of and responsibilities of a journalist and to tackle the rumors, or if there this is a role of journalists, or this is a or any other actors can do that. Hello, hello, yes.
Yes, I can hear.
Dilshad Hussain, ma'am, are you hearing me? Hello.
Was was it a question for me
The
or
question is
Bhai?
like how journalists can play the role when
No?
like the rumor is going on, and when we are talking about the self censorship, and how journalists can adopt on
Yeah,
on
yeah, but
this. And
was it the question for me?
the question for you is like how journalists can play the role when the rumor is going on.
Okay. Okay. For in Bangladesh, there is to be very frank, I don't think that Bangladeshi media are playing very good to fight rumor actually, because we often see from the very beginning when COVID-19 started spreading, we often see that even there was some media, there was some popular media, specifically there was some television who were actually not spreading rumor, but they were making news, which later we found that it was a rumor, like just or maybe like the officials, higher officials are changing their mind, that they're saying different thing in different time. Just I'm giving you
Hello, 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 audience. So there's a technical problems. Uh, Hello, Shavik, bhai, even if you can answer, like she was talking about like the hello, hello, Shavik, bhai, are
I
you
can
hearing
hear
me?
you.
Even maybe she's in here. Yeah, please. You can add it.
example
You yeah.
that
So, so
just
Shafiq bhai, if you please start, like she was talking about like during the time of the COVID-19, the Bangladeshi media are not playing good to tackle the rumors. And so, what about your opinion on that?
I don't agree to that point. Like maybe there are some isolated cases. We took our liberty to tell a story. That's happens everywhere. That happens even in the United States or other places. But if you read the newspapers and you see the most dominant news channels, they usually try to put out as accurate stories as possible. Like as a result, like sometimes they are so conservative in their approach. Some people may think that okay, I'm not getting enough information from there. They even try to hook up with like some rumor channels, which is, but still I think they are doing some good job so far. So good, to be honest.
Yeah, that's great. So I know you have a work, and this is a huge pleasure you are here. If you say something to the audience, and in the meantime, this is the last question for you, and we know that like 85% of our economy depend on the RMG sector, and in the meantime, like in the different development countries, they already cancel the order, and we know that, and from different media. So what about you? I mean, what about your observation? Like, what will be happen after the COVID-19 if the situation will keep continue? Like, what will be the balance and context of the Bangladesh economy?
But right now the situation is very much depressing.
So, audience, so
If
there's
you
a
see that the BGI
yeah. Hello. So there's a
is
technical
saying that
problem.
ride out this storm, which is the Bangladesh needs, I think, clear strategy, very clear strategy how they are going to reopen the economy, because the thing is we haven't peaked yet. Like the COVID-19 situation hasn't flattened, Bangladesh hasn't flattened the curve yet. So unless like a uh, situation improves massively, I doubt whether these factories will be open. And until and unless we can reopen these factories, we cannot say when we get our economy back and running.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what about your message to the audience? We are on the way to end. So, what message you want to give to the audience? And I know, like most of the time, you are collecting the audience and also the collecting the informations of the different sources. And as a journalist, even as a citizen, what about your message to the audience?
My message is stay where you are, stay safe. That's the basic. Like in these lockdown days, this is the best message I can give. But obviously, try to read authentic news. Don't fall into the trap of rumor mongering. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help the community. It doesn't help any cause. But try to read try to see the best television. Try to like make use of this time. Try to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that will be amazing, and we also believe that the situations is going to be okay, and
It
also
has
you'll
at
be.
least allowed them to spend quality time with their family. I hope, yeah, people try to make maximum use of this time.
Yeah. So, and I hope the situations is going to be okay, and also you'll be, and because I know like most of the time you try to go out and try to do the snapshot and also try to write. So, and during the time of lockdown, and I think you're not able to go out. So, Dilshad ma'am is here. So, I think, are you hearing me? And though we are, yeah, are you hearing us? We're on the way to
Yes,
end the
I can
show.
hear you now.
Yeah, so we are on the way to end the show. And if you say something to the audience,
Okay.
if you say something to the audience, what message you want to give to the audience?
Okay. Okay. Don't believe rumor. Check the news from different sources. Before believing any information, and stay safe, stay away, and stay home.
Wow, thanks both of you to be here, and I think that will be amazing, and I believe, and I'm very excited to meet both of you guys, and I think son, the situation is gonna be okay, and the Shafiq Bhai will be come in the street and will take the photo and post in the Facebook, and Dilshad Hussain ma'am, and will keep continue the class again, and I think everything's going to be okay. We believe during the time of the lockdown, love, recreation, conversation, creativity is on lockdown. So I should say bye tonight, and another time we'll come again with another guest from another important person from the another world. Today, bye bye.
Bye.